NBA trade idea: Bucks land all-star point guard to bolster Giannis Antetokounmpo's championship push. The Milwaukee Bucks have had a very up-and-down offseason, and a lot of fans are already wondering if the roster as it stands is really strong enough to contend for a championship alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. After Damian Lillard's departure, the Bucks tried to patch some holes. They made a notable addition in the frontcourt by bringing in free agent Miles Turner, who will definitely help anchor their defense and add some floor spacing with his shooting ability. But while that helped shore up the big man rotation, it also created an even bigger problem in the backcourt. To address that, Milwaukee signed Cole Anthony, a young guard who can score in bunches. But let's be honest here, for a team that's supposed to be in win-now mode with Giannis in his prime, this move doesn't exactly scream championship level. In fact, many around the league expect the Bucks to take a step back next season. And that raises a very important question: how much longer can Giannis stay patient with this franchise if he doesn't have the support needed to chase another ring? That's where this trade idea comes in. The Bucks desperately need a star guard to replace the void left by Damian Lillard, and one name being floated as a dream target is Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, let's look at the actual proposal. The Bucks would receive Tyrese Maxey, while the Sixers would land Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr., a 2027 first-round pick swap via New Orleans, plus second-round picks in 2026 and 2032. Because of Kevin Porter Jr.'s contract situation, this deal couldn't legally happen until the first week of October, but if it ever came together, it would be a blockbuster that completely reshapes both teams. From Milwaukee's perspective, it's pretty simple. Tyrese Maxey is a 24-year-old rising star who has already made an all-star team and continues to improve every season. He's quick, he's shifty, he's an explosive scorer, and he's proven he can carry an offense when asked. Last season in Philadelphia, Maxey had to shoulder a huge load because Joel Embiid missed significant time and Paul George wasn't consistently available. In that stretch, Maxey averaged 26.3 points and 6.1 assists per game, shooting almost 44% from the field. The year before, when he earned his first All-Star selection, he put up nearly the same numbers, 25.9 points and 6.2 assists per game. That kind of consistency at his age is extremely impressive, and it shows that he's capable of being a true number one option when necessary. If the Bucks could pair him with Giannis, it would give them a dynamic inside-outside duo. Giannis brings the paint dominance, transition game, and defensive anchor abilities, while Maxey provides shot creation, perimeter scoring, and speed. Add Miles Turner into that mix as a rim-protecting big who can also shoot threes, and suddenly Milwaukee has a strong three-man core that could be very dangerous heading into the 2025-26 season. Of course, the big question is whether Philadelphia would ever consider giving up Maxey. On the surface, it seems crazy. He's their young franchise cornerstone, and trading him could alienate the fan base. But when you look at the Sixers' situation, there are reasons they might at least listen. Joel Embiid's health is always a concern. Paul George is on the roster, but his availability has been inconsistent. And if the Sixers decide it's time to tear things down and rebuild, moving Maxey could accelerate that process by bringing back multiple assets. In this proposed trade, Philly would get three veterans, Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr., and Gary Trent Jr. Now, these players aren't stars, but they do provide depth and flexibility. Kuzma, for example, can slide between forward spots and provide scoring off the bench or even step into the starting lineup when needed. Last season, he averaged about 14.8 points and 5.7 rebounds per game. Not earth-shattering, but reliable production for a secondary scorer. Kevin Porter Jr. is a talented ball handler and playmaker who averaged over 10 points and nearly 4 assists last year. He's a bit of a wild card, but under the right circumstances, he could thrive in a bench role. Gary Trent Jr. is probably the most valuable of the three, given his elite shooting. He knocked down over 41% of his threes last season, while averaging 11 points a game. In today's NBA, having a reliable floor spacer like Trent Jr. is always a plus. More importantly, all three players are on short-term deals, which gives the Sixers cap flexibility. They could keep them as stopgaps, flip them in future trades, or simply let the contracts expire. On top of that, Philly would be collecting draft capital, a first-round swap and 2 second-rounders. For a team heading into a rebuild, those assets could be very useful. The Sixers also already have young guards like Jared McCain and VJ Edgecombe, who could become their future backcourt pairing if Maxey were moved. So while it's a tough pill to swallow, there's at least a logical path for Philadelphia to consider such a deal. Now, bringing this back to Giannis, the key storyline is his future in Milwaukee. Over the summer, there were plenty of trade rumors about whether Antetokounmpo might look to leave. Ownership and Giannis himself have pushed back on that speculation, making it clear that for now, he's committed to staying with the Bucks. But let's be real, Giannis is a competitor. He's not just going to sit back and watch the prime years of his career wasted on a team that can't seriously contend. Reports suggest Giannis is waiting until after Eurobasket to make any long-term decisions about his future with the franchise. That means the Bucks have a limited window to prove to him that they are serious about building another title contender. Acquiring a young all-star guard like Tyrese Maxey would send exactly that message. So, what's the verdict? From Milwaukee's perspective, this trade is a no-brainer. It gives Giannis the running mate he desperately needs and sets the team up for another championship push. From Philadelphia's side, it's a tougher call. Trading Maxey would hurt, but if they decide to go into a full rebuild, adding depth pieces, cap flexibility, and draft picks could be the right long-term move. Either way, one thing is clear, the Bucks cannot afford to waste time. If they want Giannis to stay happy and committed, they need to make a bold move sooner rather than later. And Tyrese Maxey could be the perfect piece to make that happen.